So far, we've prepped our I-9 image file and gathered the data that we want to print. Now it's time to pull it all together on an Access report. I'm going to start by going to the Create tab and choosing Report Design here. First, we can go ahead and get rid of these page headers. I'll go ahead and right-click and toggle off the page header and footer. Then we'll set the size of our report. I'll click here in the Details section, and on the Property sheet for the details, I'll go ahead and click on the Details section, and in the Property sheet for the details, I'll set the height to 10.5 inches. Then we'll switch back to the properties for the report and set its width to 8 inches. Then I just want to double check our margins. So we'll go to Page Setup. We'll come over here to Margins and make sure that they're set up for 1/4 inch on all sides. Now it's time to add the picture into the background. We'll go over here to the picture property of the report. Where it says None, I'll click there and then click the Build button. We're going to browse out to the exercise folder and go inside Chapter 8 and choose this file here, the I-9 export. That's the image that we exported from the first movie of this chapter. I'll select it and say OK. That gets placed into the background of my report. Now I can go over here to this picture size mode and change it from clip to zoom. Let's go ahead and check out the results. I'll switch over to the Home tab, change my view into Print Preview. Now I can see that the image is on top of the report here and everything is laying out on the page properly. Now it's just time to fill in the fields that we have from our database. I can fill in the last name and the first name of the employee that we selected. Let's go ahead and close Print Preview. I'm going to go over here to the Property sheet, and for the properties of the report, we'll connect it to a data source on the Data tab. The record source here is going to be the query that we built. It's going to be that I-9 query. Next, we can go up to Add Existing Fields. I'm going to drag the first name field and drop it on my form here. And I'm going to drag the last name field and drop it in the report here. Let's go ahead and get rid of the labels. I'll click on the first label here and delete it, and the last label over here and delete that. Now we can just put these text boxes where they appear on top of the report. So the last name should get put in right over here, and I'll make it wider. And then the first name gets put right here, and I'll make that wider as well. Let's go ahead and make both of these boxes transparent. I'll select them both, and on the Format tab, I'll do Shape Outline, Transparent, and Shape Fill, Transparent as well. Now let's go ahead and test everything out. Let's go ahead and save this report. I'll go ahead and save it as I-9, and I'll close it down, and we'll go over here and select the form. Let's double click on it to open it. Let's add a quick button here to open up the report. I'll change this into Design View. We'll go up to the button control here and add one down. We're going to go to Report Operations, and I'm going to say Preview Report. That'll open it up in Print Preview mode. We'll go ahead and say Next. We'll choose the I-9 report and say Next. And the text for this is going to say Open I-9 Report. Go ahead and say Next and Finish. Let's go ahead and save our changes and check it out. So I'm going to go ahead and select an employee. I'll choose James Abbott here and press this button here. Now I get my report opened, and you can see that his name, James Abbott, is correctly filled in right on top of this document. If I close this and go back to my form here, I can choose a different employee, Kevin Aguilar, and open this up, and now I can see his name is being populated. Now I feel like I have to mention that the display of this form right now in Print Preview is a little bit chunky, and that's only the way it displays here on the screen. If we change our zoom mode here up to say 200%, you can see that it's actually a lot clearer, and you won't actually notice any image degradation when you send it to a printer. So that's how we can integrate pre-printed documents right inside of our Access databases. By scanning in the document and placing it behind our Access report, you'll never again need to go searching the office for those blank forms. And better yet, when the new tax year rolls around, you simply update the report with the new background image and make any adjustments. And you ensure that everyone in your organization is using the most up-to-date version without having to worry about anyone accidentally printing out last year's document because they happen to have a stash of leftovers hidden in their desk.